Hello, hey, this is just a quick video about organ shoes. We're talking about shoes for organists. So I might be like a lot of people who find themselves on the organ at some point in their lives, started out as a piano player, got introduced to the organ and just kind of had to figure it out. And I think like most piano players who adapt to the organ, started on manuals first, but eventually had to figure out the pedals. Now, organ pedals are a totally different animal, and one of the things that a keyboard player has to figure out is what's going to work for him or her. Part of that includes what's going to be on your feet. So when I first started playing the organ and started to figure out the pedals, I first started with my regular, whatever shoes I happened to wear at the time. They were either dress shoes or I might have even had sneakers on at some points in time. Not the best, but at the time, didn't know any better. But I did realize that something wasn't quite right there. Then I went to the socks only method, which I think was even better than having shoes on the feet, but still not quite right. And then at some point, I think in American Guild of Organists magazine, stumbled across an ad for shoes that were designed for organists and made a decision I was going to give these a try. This was about at least a dozen years ago, if not longer ago than that. And I bought some shoes from a company called Organmaster, and those changed my ability to play the organ pedals, and I can't recommend them enough. Now, the original shoes from Organmaster that I bought have lasted me years, a long time. And one of the things I do with these shoes is I only wear them when I'm at the organ bench. So I don't walk around outside with these. I don't leave the organ loft typically with these on my feet. When I walk, something about my gait, I wear heels not evenly. So I do try to take care of these. Again, these have lasted me a long, long time, but ultimately, just recently, the top here started to come apart and they were showing their age, so it was time to get a new shoe. So I went back to Organmaster and got an updated pair of organ shoes, and I'm even happier with the new ones than I was with the original ones. Now, these shoes just came in the mail a couple of days ago. I wore them at the organ bench for the first time this morning. They are the Organmaster brand shoe, if you can see there. And as nice as I thought my first pair was, these just feel better. They're a leather shoe, and you can feel just a nice natural feel on them, just feel wonderful. One of the things that's better for playing the organ with specific organ shoes is they're a much more narrow shoe than your typical shoe, and they allow you to maneuver on the organ pedals with better accuracy. And I think that's the point. The other thing that you find on these is you've got a higher than normal, for a man's shoe, heel on these. And when you're playing the organ pedals, if you're using a heel-toe technique, right, moving up and down like this, having a higher heel helps for playing passages where you're moving around the pedal board with some speed, I suppose. Or not even speed, just when you need that maneuverability to get around from note to note on the pedal board and you want to have a legato type of approach, this heel does help. So just a short message here, and this is just to the organ players who may not have considered a specific organ shoe before. Can't recommend these enough. Again, I think you probably don't know what you're missing until you try these, but I bet you anything, once you try these, if you play the organ pedals, you won't go back from something like this. So highly recommended. I'm going to leave a link in the notes below to where I got mine at. I have no affiliation with Organmaster whatsoever, other than I'm just a fan. I'm a user of their shoes and I love their shoes. This recent pair I bought online for, I believe it was $65.99. They're Oxford lace-up shoes. If you're familiar with a Capezio style shoe, they seem similar to that, but modified for an organ player. They come in various widths. They do have them in medium, they have them in wide, and the men's sizes range from sizes 6 to size 16. And I believe for the ladies, they even have a few more options on the shoes. So one thing you can do as an organist, as a keyboard player, to up your game, if you haven't done so already, is invest in a quality pair of organ shoes. It'll make a huge difference, I bet you anything. So hopefully this little tip was helpful, and I wish you happy keyboard and organ playing.